welcome to Let's Talk Finances with Dr. Nina White. I am here to give you real strategic conversations about money, not from a place of fear or confusion, but from a place of clarity and leadership. This show is designed for professionals and individuals who are doing well, but know they could be doing a whole lot better with the right strategy. Today's conversation is about optimizing your financial strategy, not by starting from scratch, but by integrating strong financial foundations with high-level financial thinking. Whether you're growing investments, running a business, or planning for the next phase of your life, this conversation will help you think more clearly and make decisions with confidence instead of guesswork. So let's get started. Get your pen, your paper, call your family in the room because Dr. Nina's about to drop some jewels. So let's start with financial foundations for individuals. Every strong financial strategy, no matter how advanced, is built on solid fundamentals. And I want to be clear about something right away. Financial foundations are not just for beginners. I work with professionals who earn six figures and more, and they still haven't fully revisited their foundation in years. So it's very important that you get these financial foundations in order. If you all recall, last week, the week before, I've been on you all about checking your numbers. You might get sick and tired of me talking about budgeting, but guess what? We're going to keep talking about it until you get it. So we're going to start with budgeting. And I want to reframe how we think about it. You know, I've already told you about the 50-30-20 rule. We've talked about those things, but I'm going to keep drilling about budgeting because it is so important for individuals, workers, business owners. It doesn't matter. It matters to you that you get your foundation in order because the times that we are living in, it is very, very important that you get prepared. You want to be ready so you don't have to get ready. So budgeting is not about restriction. It's about alignment. I have been hearing this alignment word for the last few weeks. So I know I'm on the right path with talking about budgeting because I'm telling you, I have been hearing alignment for weeks. And I said, well, okay, we got to get in alignment. We got to get in alignment with our lifestyle, our health, our finances, our family. We got to get in alignment. So for example, I've worked with professionals who travel frequently, who dine out often, and enjoy a certain type of lifestyle. But their spending doesn't actually reflect their long-term goals. Remember, I always told you all that the most money that you usually spend is on entertainment and dining out. It doesn't matter what level you're at, low income, middle, high, it does not matter. If you go back, check those numbers, I guarantee you spend the most money with entertainment or food, dining out. It's just what it is. I mean, that's statistics, that's just what it is. So, you know, my clients, they're not overspending irresponsibly, they're just spending without intention. You see how all of this follows through? Last week I was talking about, spending and not even thinking intentionally, just doing it. So again, they're not just overspending just out of control, they're just not doing it with intentions. So when we align spending with goals, clarity replaces anxiety. Again, if you go back, probably my first segment, and I'm talking about stress. There's different types of stress. You got good stress, you got bad stress. So this is, clarity. So it replaces anxiety. You don't want to be stressed out about finances. That's one thing you do not want to do. So then we move into cash flow management. High income earners often assume cash flow isn't because money is coming in consistently. That has nothing to do with it. Absolutely nothing. It's like, oh, I got money, coming in, and that's cash flow consistently. That's not what it is. But cash flow isn't how much money you make, it's about the timing. Again, financial foundations, structure. You want to make sure everything has its own place. Give that dollar an assignment. What does it supposed to do? Where does it supposed to go? I've seen clients earning strong incomes still feeling like they're financially stretched. And it could be because bonuses, aren't planned, tax payments aren't anticipated, large annual expenses hit you all at one time. This is why you have to have your financial foundation, because usually you don't plan for these things. Who plans to pay taxes? You don't plan to pay it. You don't think about it. But when that time comes and you're making a certain income, you're in a certain income bracket, you're not paying your quarterly taxes, you're not doing estimated payments, and now at the end of the year, you're hit with a large amount of money that you may owe to the IRS. You didn't anticipate that. So this is things that you need to plan for. Again, you may get bonuses on your job. You're not planning for it because you don't know what that bonus looks like or if you're getting it. It could be a surprise. So again, you don't realize it, but you got to plan just in case. And again, the other thing is expenses, large expenses hit you at one time. Something major happens and you have to spend a large amount of money. But if you had your budget and you planned accordingly, it really wouldn't catch you by surprise. So you want to make sure that strategic income management, it means your money moves with purpose. It's not a surprise. What I tell you last week, give your money an assignment. Tell it what to do so it doesn't catch you off guard. You have to have strategies in place. All the time I hear people talking about rainy days. They'll say I have a rainy day fund. I have an emergency fund. They'll call it whatever, but they're putting money away just in case something happens. And of course, we don't want nothing to happen, but you gotta be ready so you don't have to get ready. So finally, knowing when to bring in professional support. That's a part of your foundation. When do you get an advisor to come in? At what point, at what stage in your finances do you say, I need some help? I need someone to walk me through this because I fully don't understand it. I get the basics, but I don't know, everything else about it. So you need to figure that out. And you want to plan for that, right? Knowing when to bring that person in. That is a strong foundation. That's a service that we offer. You can reach out to us. I'm telling you, anybody, but get you a financial advisor, get you an accountant, someone who can help you with your numbers, right? At a certain level, financial decisions become interconnected. Taxes affect investments, investments affect cash flow, and business decisions affect everything. You gotta be mindful. You got to put your numbers in a category. You have to know these things, right? It's very, very important because that's where advisory support creates clarity. Again, it helps you. Everything has an assignment. Everything comes with something. So you want to be able to know. Some people, will say, well, I don't need an accountant right now. And that's fine. But then when they have a mess, then it's like they want to come. So now we got to come in and we got to clean up everything before we can actually assist them in their area because they're not organized. And this is where you have to understand that strong foundation, that help, that extra support. That's why I keep telling you all, get your family involved. You're in business, your top leaders, get together, have meetings. You need to know what this money is doing. You need to understand what's going on with the money and understand it and give it an assignment. Give it an assignment. Once your foundation is solid, the next layer is financial resilience. The goal is to be financially stable, financially free of debt. This is the goal. This is where we're headed, right? I'm just giving you the basics, and I'm just helping you, and I'm just, going deeper and deeper in it because I want you to understand it. I really want you to understand it. So let me give you a definition. Resilience is the ability to absorb change without panic. You don't want to panic. You can do this, right? These are things, listen, even give yourself an affirmation every day and just say, I can do this. I can put this aside. I can do it. You can do it. Because remember, your words have power. Whatever you say, it has power. So be careful, about the things you say, negative or positive, because your words have power. This matters at every income level. When I talk about resilience, when I talk about financial resilience, it doesn't matter what level you're on. It doesn't matter if you're just beginning, if you're in the middle, if you're at the top. It doesn't matter. It works at any income level. So I don't want you to feel like, well, she's only talking to the ones who, the rich people. She's only talking to them. She's not talking to me. I am talking to you. I'm talking directly to you. I'm talking to you at any level that you are at. That's who I'm speaking to. I've worked with executives who experience unexpected job transitions, business owners who face sudden revenue dips. I've worked with executives who experience unexpected job transitions, business owners who face sudden revenue dips, and professionals who encounter health or family changes. Listen, I'm going to be transparent with you all. Last year, May, I lost my only brother, right? I couldn't even focus. I'm an executive, I'm a CEO of my company. I couldn't even focus. I went back to work and I literally stared at the computer because I couldn't do anything. Absolutely nothing. My staff was coming in. I was a mess, crying. I just could not focus. That was something that encountered in my family. There was a drastic family change. It went from being my brother and I to just being me. So these things is unexpected. I didn't know, I didn't know that my brother was going to transition. I didn't know. It was a surprise to me and my mother. So this was unexpected. And then the other thing, because y'all gonna say, what? The other thing, in September of 2025, I had a stroke. I couldn't even talk. And I'm talking freely. I have some difficulties, but I had a stroke. That hit me in a financial bind. I'm a business owner. And this also hit me. So life happens, okay? What they say, life be lifing, life happens. And so I can clearly say to you all, as a CEO of my own company, I seen the dips in the revenue and trying to figure out what was I going to do, right? I teach you everything that I do. I'm not telling you something that just popped out of the sky. This is things that I do. I do this every single day and I teach it because I know I walked this path. And so some of you are walking it and you just don't understand. What do I need to do, right? So again, anything can happen. So the difference between stress and stability in those moments wasn't income, it was preparation. Was we prepared to bury my brother? Was we prepared for finances that was going to, for financial, all the bills that was going to come from me having a stroke? We wasn't prepared for that. So again, as I tell you, you want to be ready so you don't have to get ready. That's the difference. So again, those financial foundations is imperative. You have to make sure that you know those numbers, given an assignment, and you want to plan accordingly, because anything could happen and you want to be ready in any type of emergency situation. As I stated, you got executives, job transitions, they got to do major layoffs. All of this stuff impacts you, and you got to be ready financially. A properly sized emergency fund is one of the most overlooked tools for high earners. Many professionals keep too much money invested and not enough liquid. Now, that one I know for sure. This forces them to make difficult decisions when something unexpected happens. I just told you. Emergency funds, you got to put this stuff in place, right? Resilience also includes risk management. You have to be prepared for these things. Insurance, diversification, and tax efficiency aren't existing topics, but they are protective ones. You need to be prepared, right? And have your insurance. Be prepared for this. But again, this isn't something that you think about on a consistent basis. So why would I all of a sudden just be prepared for tax, tax efficiency? Why? Why would I just be prepared for that? But this will be protective. It protects you. So this is why you need to have these things in place. I often say this: wealth isn't just about growth. It's about protection. You have to protect yourself. What do we have? We got homes. You got homeowners insurance. Anything happened to the house, you're covered. Car insurance. You go out here and somebody hit you. You hit them. Car insurance, protected. Medical bills. You get sick. Your children get sick. Your spouse gets sick. Whomever. Medical insurance, guess what? You're covered. This is what we're talking about. You got to put these things in place. So it's not just about wealth. It's about protection. And then the next thing, finally, resilience comes with some proactive planning. I'm telling you, I can't drill this in enough. You have to be ready at all times. Be proactive. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. That's all I can tell you. Reactive financial decisions are usually expensive decisions. You react. Remember, I talked about emotions and all of that. We act out of our emotions. Listen, you got to be proactive. You don't want to react to something and you just do it and you're not thinking without intention. You have to be intentional about the things that you do. No matter what it is, you have to be intentional. So when planning, listen to me. I'm talking about intention. I'm going right on to my next thing. When planning is intentional, transition feels manageable and it's not overwhelming. You're intentional about setting goals. You're intentional about where your money goes. You're doing your 50-30-20, 50% needs, 30% wants, 20% savings and debt. Remember, you can't save until you start get yourself out of debt. You can't save until you get yourself out of debt. So remember, 50-30-20, intentional, getting those things in order, setting those goals, give your money an assignment, tell your money what to do so it can bring you back, a return. This is what we're talking about. So it creates confidence. Oh man. And confidence creates better decision making. Isn't that just amazing? That if you really take the time, pause. Remember I talked about that last week? Pause. Pause for a moment. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in a week. It may not happen in a month. It takes time. and you will get it. And once you perfect that thing, you are going to be so pleased with yourself, because now you're going to have the confidence that if you can do it this time, you can do it again. And now you can share it with somebody else, because now you've done it. And you can go and tell somebody else, hey, listen, I did this, I followed these steps, and I was able to come out of debt. I was able to set goals for my money. Emergency happened. We had some funds over here. Everything was coming together. These are the conversations that I want you all to have with your family and friends, because we want to be financially debt free so that we can live the lifestyle that we choose to live. Now let's elevate this conversation just a little bit more. CFO level thinking changes everything. You know what CFO stands for? Do you have a clue? Chief Financial Officer. CFO level thinking changes every single thing. You got to change the level of your thinking. Remember, I started talking about mindset shift, the way you think. You got to change the way you think. It is important. Everything has to line up. You definitely got to, your thinking got to definitely line up with the money and the strategies. It has to line up. So a CFO doesn't just look at what's happening today. They look at what's coming up next. They are proactive. They are looking at their numbers. They are preparing. They are forecasting out for the next year and 5 years out. They are ready. Hands on, they ready to go. So if anything changes, they are prepared. Again, this includes forecasting your income. I just said that. And expenses. Evaluating any type of risk. And planning for scalability. If you're a business owner, you want to be able to scale your business. What is your niche? What do you do? What market do you cater to, right? Some people try to do it all, and you can't. You got to pick the one that you want to do and perfect that one, and then, and move forward. And so the beautiful thing is, once you start to elevate your thinking, as business owners, you elevate your thinking and you start to think as a CFO. So for example, when a professional receives a large bonus, right? CFO thinking as, how does this fit into my long-term strategy? Long-term, not short. You're thinking long-term. I also tell clients, I ask people, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? You can break it down to that next 3 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 20, whatever that looks like. So again, a CFO, you now thinking like a CFO. Okay, how can this large sum fit into what I have going on? How can it fit into my long-term goals? When a business opportunity arrives, CFO thinking as, what's the financial impact 6 months from now, a year from now? Again, this is now CFO level thinking. The mindset allows you to make decisions based on strategy, not emotion. Let me say that one more time. The mindset allows you to make decisions based on strategy, not emotion. And here's the key point. You don't need to be a corporation to benefit from CFO thinking. You don't have to be no corporation. You don't have to be a business owner. You can be an individual who has high income earning. You can be low income earning and still think like a CFO, because you got to change the way you think. Executives, entrepreneurs, and high earning individuals all benefit from this level of oversight. Outsourced CFO support provides structure, clarity, and insight without the commitment of a full-time executive. It's about seeing the full financial picture and leading it with intention. Listen, it has been a great Thursday. I've poured a lot into you all today. I encourage you to make sure that you go back, rewatch this, and make sure because you can pause it and and take your notes. Go back. Go back to the first segment. Go back to the second. Continue to watch them over and over again. Consistency is the key to breakthrough. You can do it. So in closing, if you have any questions or comments and you would like me to address it on the next segment, email us at contactus@mdaccounting.org, or you can text us at 844-436-2788. I'll read the messages and I'll answer the questions on the next segment. Make sure you leave your name, where you're watching from, and your question, because I want to make sure I shout you out. And if you're ready to move beyond surface level financial management, whether through advisory services, CFO support, or inviting me, Dr. Nina White, to speak at your next conference or event, reach out to M&D Accounting and they'll be able to help you. Our goal is simple: to help you achieve clarity, confidence, and long-term financial success. I thank you so much. And hey, did you know it was tax time? You can come to our office as well with due taxes, low income all the way up to high. We do corporations and nonprofit taxes as well. So if you need that, it's tax season. So make sure you're ready. You can reach out to our office, schedule an appointment, and we'll be able to assist you in that level. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you next week right here on WHIG TV.